drive to work,
Yeah, if
whatever
you're
it is that you're doing.
Yeah, if you're driving to work and we're bumming you out,
yeah.
sorry. Man.
Yeah,
I was bummed out too, dude. Don't trip.
this is a bummer of a story.
Yeah.
So the whole thing started with a cruise, right? Technically.
Where the guys left off on their last episode 1, I know Jerett was talking about his mental health and the journey
leading up to the cruise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And so the way I remember it is that you were prescribed a new medication.
Yep.
And I remember JJ saying, we're going to wait till he gets off the cruise to start it, which makes total sense, right? Because you never know what like side effects you could have.
Well, and we were thinking maybe allergic reaction or, things like that you need to be within, a couple minute drive of a hospital just in case.
Mm-hmm. Well, also, like, I mean, if you break it down to something silly, like you're on a Caribbean cruise. I forget where we were, which cruise, but you don't want to be starting anything new that might be a bummer.
No.
Like when you're trying to go on
how's it
vacation.
gonna affect your mood?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I remember the first time that I started taking meds ever, we were in New York and I slept the whole time. So we kind of ruined a trip. So I think that she was kind of going off the same thing. Like,
Right.
like just in case, you're drowsy, and things like that we thought could be a problem. I'd have taken drowsiness. I promise. I'd fucking put me to sleep.
That would have been better than the alternative. Yeah. But that happens
100%.
all the time. Charlie started a medication and she was falling asleep in class.
Right.
Turns out the medication was good for her, but we had to figure out how, like, when to give it to her, all that. So those things happen all the time. So we get off the cruise.
Mm-hmm.
You start the medication
That day.
that day. Okay. And then what do you remember?
So it's hard for me now outside looking in, right, to really pinpoint one thing, right? Because you got to remember, to me, I thought that these things that I was feeling and having these problems, I thought they were just real. So I remember feeling off, right? And not like tired or just
You just felt funky?
just funky, just kind of like
You
different.
you didn't feel like yourself.
Like I'm not me, you know, like
Right.
and it was
Like a weird headspace.
yeah, it's just a weird place to be because I always like to think I'm in control of me.
Mhm.
And it wasn't,
Right, but a lot of us would chalk that up to like, maybe I'm getting sick.
yeah,
You
maybe
just got
something's
off a
wrong.
cruise. Maybe I'm tired. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm jet lagged.
Yeah, maybe I'm just tired and
Mm-hmm.
irritable, and we traveled all day, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of that kind of stuff and when you start to not feel right, you kind of just associate it with whatever you've been doing, right? Like, oh, I'm tired, but I walked 3 miles yesterday or whatever, So, for me, I kind of took it like, well, maybe I'm just irritable and maybe I'm just bothered that, we traveled all day and all of these things. So gradual thing, just little thing, nothing that would set off any bells and whistles, any radars, anything like that. Just a little like,
At least you're perceptive to it, because I know that I've taken different medication over the years and I don't even sometimes put 2 and 2 together that I'm feeling different and it's from the medication.
Right,
We're all just moving at 100 miles an hour. We're working, we're raising kids. It's like, if you feel off, like I feel off all the time. I'm 43. I'm tired.
I had no idea that this was the medication
Right.
causing it. So and never through this whole thing that we're going to talk about had I ever considered that it could be my medication.
1,000%.
Well, because it was prescribed to you by a professional, so
Yes.
you assume this person. I'm not saying anything against the medical world or any mental health professionals, but if you're experiencing anything and you go to a professional, you're just going to assume that what they tell you is right.
Right.
So how would you know?
And that's the thing too, is how would you know?
Right.
Well, I also think that anytime you start a new medication, sometimes it does take like 30, 60, 90 days to like level you out, kick in, make you
Right.
feel better. It doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
So yeah, I think it was all very normal. We didn't even know. I mean, we were at this point, this wasn't a story.
Right,
We didn't
right,
even,
yeah.
it was like no big deal.
We weren't here.
So shortly thereafter, was it?
It was the day after the cruise. He had kind of just displayed some sort of like, I guess like, I call it paranoia now, but I didn't even think it was like, I wouldn't consider it paranoia at the time. He thought that I was like texting someone on my phone or something like that. Like I was like, it's just a misunderstanding, you know, and that was kind of like the first incident. And I was like, okay, that's weird because we don't fight. We don't argue.
We don't ever fight. Like
We're
that's.
not, yeah.
I only see you bicker like us.
Yeah.
Like it's like you left a spoon on the counter, you
Right.
asshole. There's no like you're not fighting over anything that's legitimate. Yeah.
But you two, there's neither one of you are like disloyal.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
So that there is no, you know, the two things that people they say argue about in marriages is loyalty and money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had just got off a beautiful cruise. We had a great time. So I don't think
And it was
either one
almost
of
your
those-
birthday.
Yeah.
Where JJ had thrown him a big party at the house.
Yeah.
And I think it was the morning of that. It's hard to look back now a year later, but I believe it was the morning of that or the day before that.
Yeah, I think it's the day before.
Where Jerett sent Jack a video of JJ on the couch. And she was working as she does. So she had, from what I remember, she had like her laptop on her lap. She had the TV on. You can tell she's just doing all sorts of stuff. And at some point, her phone brightens up. So she maybe got a message or a call or whatever. And she looks at it, doesn't seem to be that interested in it, kind of put it back down. A few seconds later, she picks it back up, looks at it, and still to this day, I don't know what it was, and I don't think JJ knows what she was looking at.
I actually think I was comparing something because I was looking at stuff like for the travel agency. Like I was comparing something that was on my phone onto like my computer, and so that's why I had looked. And I think I got a text. You know how you get those texts that like it has like put in the code like the
yeah.
You know. I think that was what had originally I picked it up, and then
And
so to paint the picture for people too, just to make this vivid, it was a camera shot from behind JJ. So you're looking at the back of her head, her laptop screen. She's sitting on the couch, but it's also like 12 or 15 feet away,
Right.
on a little indoor camera.
Yeah.
So it's not really clear.
yeah.
And you can zoom in on it. It's not CSI. It doesn't enhance
Yeah.
the image.
Yeah.
It pixelates it and makes it a little bit harder to
distorts
see.
it,
So you
yeah.
can't. We can see that she's on her phone and on her laptop. We can't read anything.
And
Right.
Also, just the cameras. It's not like someone hid the cameras there.
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah.
No,
No.
no.
Yeah.
Those were our security cameras.
Yeah, I wasn't
that we
wasn't
had.
there.
We had certain cameras like, facing doors.
we
and
probably
stuff
should have
like
said that first.
Yeah,
They
we should
had
preface it
cameras
with
in
that.
their
Yeah,
house
yeah.
like normal people do.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like somebody was trying to trap somebody. But I will say, looking at the video, Jack came to me. He was like, "Look at this. Jerett thinks that like JJ's up to something." And we must have watched that video. I'm not gonna lie, 100 times.
Oh yeah, and it's on full volume, which there's no
Right.
there's no audio.
Right.
So you
And
can't
it almost became laughable because it's like, you know, Jared's not just making stuff up. He's not a guy that makes stuff up. But I also know JJ as a ride or die wife. I'm thinking like she's not up to anything. And if she is, she's doing it on the couch, like while you're in the house. Like
Right.
Knowing a
doesn't
camera's
seem-
behind her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she doesn't
yeah.
seem to be hiding anything. And going back to we watched it 100 times, there's really nothing to say about what was seen. If you got to the point where I guess there were a couple instances where if you like zoomed in, it like
Right.
maybe looked like a pair of boobs, and then I'm like, I think she's into dudes. I don't think she's she's looking at ladies. But it was because who knows what was it was pixelated.
It was very pixelated, but Jerett was very adamant
Yeah.
and was selling it really hard. And I mean, we had a lot of them. I'm like, I don't know. Like, you never know what's going on in people's lives, and I don't
Right.
care. I'm not here to kink shame. If you guys want to do that, whatever. We had just got off the cruise, so we were laughing and joking about all the upside down pineapples and all that shit. And I'm like, maybe that's their thing. Whatever. I don't care. But Jerett was so convincing and so persistent.
Adamant about it.
Adamant about it. And Jerett and I have laughed and joked about this about like hunting. You'll sit there and stare at something long enough and your mind will trick you. That's a deer. No, it's just a rock.
Right.
And so he keeps telling us, and you're looking at this thing and zooming in and zooming out, pausing and playing and pausing and playing. And your mind starts to formulate this opinion that what was on the screen was a boob. And I was like,
Yeah,
it's a band,
and-
but that's a... The nipple was like as black as my shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
And on top, like it wasn't where it was like.
Yeah.
yeah, it was weird boobies you were looking at.
It
JJ.
was,
See, I told you.
Coming from a gentleman who likes that, like, I'm like,
Yeah. What are you doing over here?
so two things. First, the first thing is I lost my train of thought. But there was a point where actually, like, just because like he was like doing it so much, I was like, did I open up like Instagram and was like there like a girl like that had, you know, like
You start to question yourself.
Yeah,
'cause-
maybe there
yeah.
was, but I was like, and then after a while I kept looking at it and I was like, wait a minute, and I looked at my phone and I looked at the
because
way I opened.
I sent her the video too.
Yeah.
I'm like, explain.
She's like, I'd love to, but I don't know what
She's like,
I'm
I don't know what the
looking
fuck
at.
that is. I'm like, it's clear as day. I can see it. No, I fucking.
So
it's good to look back now and laugh. I'm glad
We can.
I'm glad we're
We can.
here.
Yeah.
But
Me too.
but then like, oh my god.
It ended up being my I have like a moon at or like one of like the widget things on the front screen, and it was the moon, but like yeah, so
Yeah.
like the crater and the moon.
Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but like when you're convinced that it's something more and your wife
Right.
tells you, I don't know, or it's a widget moon, you're like, okay.
And
Right.
at that point, even
Yeah.
by me showing it to him, he was kind of like, I still think he still thought that it was like a girl, or
Right.
something. Like,
Well, because here's the thing. Like, if you get a text right on your phone right now, it's just a text. Boom, pops up. But if you do a playback on a video, like on a camera of your phone, the light flashes.
Yeah, like the infrared, like your
Yeah.
camera's taking, or they say your iPhone is taking pictures of your face.
Yes.
Which
So it flashes, boom, 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 boom. So I was like, why is your phone flat? Like, so I was very confused about why does your phone flash when you get a text?
Mhm.
So then in my mind, is it an app? Is it a this? Is it a
it's like a
that?
hidden app.
Is it something else? You know?
Once it's in your mind, I mean,
Yeah.
I think we all can say mental health or not. We've all been in relationships at one point or another in our lives where you don't trust somebody.
Right.
And when you don't trust somebody, which that's not you guys, but
Yeah.
when you're in a paranoid state, that you're looking for things and you can make something really innocent look
Right.
really
Yeah.
not innocent, you know?
Right.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
not an uncommon
it
thing.
got to the point of where, like, I was like, "Here's my phone." Like, I mean, and normally, like, we don't ever
No.
feel the need to go through each other's phones,
Mhm.
anything like that. Like, I don't. It's not a big deal. But I was like, I want you to look at my phone so you could like look through everything so you could see that there's nothing there.
And I remember Jared's
Yeah.
response was like, yeah, because you deleted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
You know?
deleted, but
Right.
he said to you have hidden apps.
So that's the thing,
I
right?
didn't even know
So-
you could. I
so-
didn't even know that was a thing.
So it's a thing on iPhones that you can hide your apps, and I'm going down a rabbit hole because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on because I've never felt like this.
Right.
I've never been in a position where I need to question her, like about anything, and so I'm on YouTube, like how do you hide apps from your partners, and in this day and age, cheating is very more possible. I mean, it's always been possible, but the things that you can do, yeah, it's very common. So I'm looking at why would my phone flash when I get a text, and then it's like, boom, here's this, like, because this app does this, and so I'm fucking rabbit
hole.
holing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
So I'm like, okay, well, why wouldn't this app show up? And it's like, well, if you drag this and put it into a folder and then unselect that folder from your home screen, you have to hold your home screen then to bring up that so I'm just rabbit
I'm
holing.
lost.
Yeah.
I already
You
know
lost
I
me, buddy.
can't cheat.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
This is like a little bit above like what I'm capable of.
Yo, you just get a burner. Just
Yeah,
get a
just-
whole nother
yeah.
phone.
Like,
It'd
get
be
a
so
flip
much
burner makes
easier.
more sense.
Yeah, get a flip phone.
So in my head, I'm like, none of this stuff makes sense, right? But I'm rabbit holing, right? So everything makes sense, and I'm in a
Right.
manic state, kind of at this point, and I'm
But you didn't realize.
no.
obviously.
At this point, nobody thought that. It was a couple days, weeks later that it came very clear that like,
Right.
we were.
Like, hey,
but in that
yeah.
particular moment, it was just wild because I mean, we had been friends with you at that point, what, for like 6-7 years? I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
it's
You got
so-
a million things together.
I've
100%.
never, ever, ever seen really you fight. I mean, everybody has their moments, but I've never seen the loyalty be questioned. And Jack and I laugh all the time. And I had said to you 20 times during this thing, I'm like, JJ's a ride or die wife. Like,
Right.
I have a lot of friends who are not ride or die wives. They're not cheating per se, but they're not one of those that are like going to ride to the end of the earth, like for their husband. Like, JJ is like rubbing your shoulders and making you plates. I'm like, Jack, get your own plate. Like, I'm
Right,
not,
yeah.
you know, she's just a very like,
Just who I am.
yeah, just a very committed, domesticated, like wants to take care of her man. Like, just so for me, it was just like a far fetched thing. So after this video, we're leading up to a party because why not get everybody you love in one room?
Well, so I was actually going to cancel it because of how he wasn't, how he kind of was like, we were at odds, I guess you could say. I was going to cancel, but then I'm like, you know what? Maybe it'll be good for him to have friends around.
Right.
Right.
So.
Well, and JJ during this whole time was being incredibly private. She hadn't said a word to me about it. And so, and I'm, you know, I get that. You're just trying to keep like your stuff in house and, you know, so when we got there early and Jack's like, I think we'll just go over early and I'll like take Jerett out back, have a cigar or whatever, kind of like see what's going on. And so JJ and I were in the house and I go like, what is happening?
Because you're texting me all this while you're doing it. Like Jarrett's rabbit holing and he's like, I'm getting a play-by-play from you. I remember I'd wake up to like a dozen text messages from you, and that terrifies me immediately because I'm like, somebody's dying.
Yeah.
Right.
Who else have we lost? What's going on? So I'm reading through these, and I mean, you are. It is a play-by-play. So I'm rabbit holing with you,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
The whole thing was so bizarre. So we get to the party, and poor JJ, you're always pretty. I've never seen you not pretty, but you were definitely, you looked like somebody ran you over.
you're
Just
exhausted.
tired, just so tired. I could see like the bags under your eyes. And I finally said like, what's going on? So JJ gives me the exact same story, but from like her perspective. She was like, you know, Jerett sent me this video and he thinks that I'm like up to something. And she's like, I'm like racking my brain. I can't even figure out like what it is on the screen that it could possibly be. And I keep telling him it's nothing. And he's just insistent about it. So as we're having this conversation, all our neighbors and friends start to trickle in, you know, so everybody's, and, you know, we're just trying to keep it light and friendly and we're eating veggie trays. And I remember specifically, I'm sure everybody has memories of that night, but I specifically remember a moment where you were outside talking to one of your friends. I won't say who it was. And I went up and I said, Jerett, just hear me out. And he goes, okay. Cause he was just so, even he told me, he's like, you don't even know your friend. Like, and I'm like, just okay. I said, but just hear me out for 1 second. And you and I had like a moment. And I said, on the off chance that you are wrong, you're going to blow up your whole life over this. And I said, that is not, I said, we have looked at this video 100 times. I'm like, there is nothing on there that would make me say, pack up Hunter and get out of here. She's clearly up to something. I said, so before you blow up your life, I want you to just think about it. Like, really, you need more solid proof if that's the thing. And I said, the JJ I know, this is not something she would do.
Yeah.
And Jerett, you were very, you calmed down a bit and you said, okay, yeah, all right, okay. And then it was funny, but it's funny now. It wasn't funny then.
Everything's funny now. Yeah.
But as I was walking back into the house, you said, you know what? No, I thought about it again. I looked at the video again. She's for sure cheating. And I just looked at Jack and I said, he's all yours right now. Like, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to do.
Well, but that's the other thing. There was no convincing you otherwise.
Yeah.
I mean, you really, and I bad copped you, and I'm like, you're being a fucking moron. There's no reason to think like this. What are you doing? I've tried to lay everything out there, and I'm like, dude, this is not going on. There was just no convincing you.
Well, and I will say this is why you're very good at sales because and we'll talk about this like over the episodes, but there was a couple times where I was like, maybe she is. I don't know. Like, you know, you look at a video long enough and you're looking for something, you can find something. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you start to wonder, am I going crazy? Like, is she up to something?
Yeah. I'm like, am I doing something that I was like, I can't remember?
Well, and like looking back now, right? Everything makes sense where everybody was like, you're this isn't right. And I got to live with that, right? Because this shit was real. I was convinced.
It was very real for you. Yes.
Yeah. But at the same time, I'm blowing up my friends. I'm blowing her up. I'm having all these racing thoughts and all this shit. And I remember, like, it's not like I was on fucking crystal meth, like, up for 4 days, and I don't remember seeing you yesterday. No, like, all this shit, I remember everything.
Right.
And looking back, and I'll say this a lot probably throughout the series, but looking back, like, I feel bad. And yeah, there's a reason, and we're going to get into the reasons, but it still happened.
That actually breaks my heart to hear you say you feel bad because, and as we get into this and people will realize probably why, you're just being you. Like, it's not your fault. Like, these things truly happen. You know, it happens to people all the time. You should never feel bad.
No, but we talk about it all the time. Like, you are not stronger than your own mind.
No, and it was running away.
And you think about, where you were and where other people have been on the grand scheme of people that deal with mental health. There are people that are convinced of way out of this world stuff that as soon as they tell you, you're like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You're sitting in a cardboard box. You're not going. And, we laugh and joke about it, but there are people that reality is their reality.
Right.
And they can't come back from it.
Right.
And we talked a long time ago about mental health and how, like when we talked with Eric Pease, how you have a bad day, you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
Right.
But the next day you're 2 steps forward. You're always behind, and your mental illness kind of creeps up on you.
Yeah.
Like all your bad days add up, and then some. This was just like now.
Yeah. It
just came on.
All of a sudden.
And I know you well enough. I
Literally
can read
overnight.
and I can read your moods and all that kind of stuff. And when I see you, and we walked in that night, I looked at JJ and I looked at you and I looked at Kendra and I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
But you make a good point. Something was off.
Something was off.
So when you said earlier, I felt off.
And by the way, let's just say it like it is. If it was real, those are like very real.
Right.
That would have been a very normal reaction, how you were feeling, right? And in your head, it was real. And so
It's heartbreaking.
I wouldn't, and that was your thing. And that's the part that I get like goosebumps thinking about it. But that was the part where you're just like, I just love her. I take good care of her. Her and Hunter are my everything. Why would she do this to me? And that's when we were just like, she wouldn't, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like the JJ I know.
Right. But there were people around us that were having affairs. And things were coming out, and there were people in divorces, and all of our friend groups. A lot of people were splitting up and getting cheated on. We know a couple of people that got divorced and things like that. So it was like, that's another thing, right?
I think anyone, even if you're not going through what Jerett went through, like you're kind of like, oh, if they can.
Yeah, it was weird timing in that regard, just based on like.
I think what was going on around us.
Yeah.
I think it affected him.
Yeah.
It put that thought in his head for sure. So, do we want to talk anything more about like the party?
The party? No, I mean the only thing I just remember just so like clearly from that night was that just how sad you were. It wasn't like you weren't angry, you weren't throwing things or yelling. You were just very sad. It was very heartbreaking.
Yeah. I think through the whole thing, I was never angry. Right? I was just sad. It broke my heart. So I never got angry or like escalated in anything. It was more of why would you do this to me? Why?
And every time that you and I talked, that's how it was. It was like, he's like, why? I don't understand. Like, why would you do this and stuff,
And by the way, it's very hard to prove you didn't do something.
Yeah.
In a lot of things in life, right? Yeah. Like, it's very hard to prove I didn't. I mean, I can hand Jack my phone right now, and if he really thought I was cheating, he's going to go, well, yeah, you have hidden apps, or you've deleted everything, or you're whatever it may be. And so that's a rough one, because it's like, and then every time you leave the house, it's like, well, where are you going? What are you doing?
Yeah, that's the problem too, is that anything.
Right. And then it's continuous, right? It's then everything that you do can be questioned, and it's nonstop. Yeah, and I mean, it could be anything. It could be a spam call in the middle of the night, like who's calling you?
Right.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it just as soon as you go down that rabbit hole, and and you were in the state of mind that I was in, everything was then a reason and a problem and a dot connected. And then you go far enough down a rabbit hole, and it doesn't matter what you see, everything's the same.
Well, there was a point where we were convinced a little bit because you were it was almost hard to not believe it because just the level of, and this goes on and on. I mean, so we'll get into that. So after the party,
that next Monday, the Sunday and then Sunday, I was like, I really think I think something's like you're not getting enough of your meds or something's going on, with the so I was like, why don't we make an appointment with your psychiatrist? So I got an appointment same day that Monday. It was like Monday afternoon, and he gets on the call. It was like just a Zoom call, and he says to his doctor, well, it's a nurse practitioner. So my wife doesn't think my meds are working, but I think I'm fine.
But everybody thinks they're fine.
Always,
right?
You probably said sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which he said, let's double up. So he doubled up my dose of medication because these meds weren't making me crazy enough.
Yeah.
So
we thought it was going to fix it.
Which, I mean, like you naturally think your meds are going to fix your problems.
It's interesting that you say that. So I've been on Zoloft. I mean, I think we've talked about this a million times. I've been on Zoloft since I was 13. And the second I felt better, I thought I didn't need them anymore. Well, I feel better because I'm on it, right? Yeah. And so, but people think that, right? But I will say for myself, like if I'm going through a hard time or I'm really hurting, like stuff that's guys know what's going on in my life. So back in October when things kind of went a little sideways for me, I know my Zoloft well enough that I doubled up on my own. And it does exactly that. It helps me.
Right.
Whereas I know that medication really well for my body. So when you're feeling upset, you're thinking I'm probably not getting enough. I'm a big guy. Maybe I need more. So I think that's a very common response to not feeling good on your medication of like, I probably need more of it.
Yeah.
Well, but for a medication like that too, don't they like gradually ease you into it? Like, okay, because like you make a good point about Zoloft is it has to build up in your system for a certain, like you got to take it you mentioned this, or you got to take it for a couple weeks. So you still had
I had
whatever
my
you were taking,
previous medication.
Was I would assume it like plateaus, so you got to take.
And it doesn't get out of your system quickly either.
No,
right. So you were too deep already.
I was.
So now we're tripling.
Now I'm tripled. Yeah,
baby.
Yeah, we were fucking riding hot,
it 3 times.
In a normal mind, for most people, you would think I'm going to wake up in a couple days and I'm going to feel great, and this is all going to go away, and I'm fine.
Well, I mean, and he kind of was a little bit for a while, or it was like I think maybe like a week or two. You're still a little, feeling a little off, but like. You didn't show, like, it wasn't, we were kind of still just dealing with the video situation, but...
It was very back and forth, if I remember correctly. Like, we would check in with you, and one day we'd be like, great, like, we're fine, we're talking, like, we're working through it, it's good. And then you'd have another day of just, like, convinced, It was kind of very up and down.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything that I was like, oh, the meds aren't working, or, like, we just kept thinking... the medicines it just takes time to kick in. Like this, we know that about medication. It's gonna take time. Okay, no big deal.
Yeah. Well, and in this process too, right? I'm not being able to sleep. I'm not sleeping because I'm having racing thoughts and I can't shut my mind off at night. So I'm laying next to her. She's snoring, and I'm sitting there like, how do I fix this? What can I do? So I'm getting zero sleep at this point. I mean, like...
And I wasn't aware that he wasn't sleeping like this.
Wow. And that's also one of the worst things.
Yeah.
It's not
because I wouldn't, like, get up and play on my phone. I would just lay there. And I would just racing thoughts. And it, it's not healthy. And it wasn't healthy. And now looking back at it, like... I wish that somebody would have told me sooner, your meds are fucked. Because I could have avoided a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Right.
But how would you know?
How would you ever assume that's it? To me, I would just we had a lot of things going on around us. A lot of people were getting divorced, and some of my best friends were getting divorced, and I don't know if I just gravitated to that. Like that was my okay, well, if it happened to you, it can happen to me kind of thing. But it wasn't my problems weren't with anybody but JJ.
Yeah, that was the only thing.
And for me, like if I think that I'm losing it or I'm crazy or whatever, I always thought like everybody around me is going to be affected, and everybody around me is going to be like, well, you're being a dick now, or you're a this or you're a that. So it was solely JJ.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason why I didn't think like it could be my medication. It could be anything. It could be all of these things. I just thought, hey, we are having these problems and it's isolated.
Yeah.
And
there was a night too where you were sleeping.
Yeah. So this was so I usually would sleep with like an eye mask on, so we went to bed, put my eye mask on, fell asleep. And all of a sudden it's like, I think it was like about, I don't even know what time it was.
Dark.
Definitely in the middle of the night. Still dark. And he turns the light on and he's like, I caught you. I was like, what? Like, being woken up with, like being yelled at kind of, or not, he wasn't yelling, but he's like yelled out. And so like that scares anyone,
right.
being woken up in just in that manner. But I startled, and then I was like, what are you talking about? Like, trying to wake up, trying to like get my bearings, and he was like, you must have a burner phone or something. Like, I forget exactly the exact words that he was saying. But so let's backtrack a little bit. So my phone, I normally would always sleep with my phone like next on my nightstand. Just because we were, we had previously had the incident with like the video thing, I was putting my phone on my vanity, which was like on the other side of the room. And I would, before I went to bed, I put it there and would charge it over there, just because I'm like, I just don't, there's no harm in me charging it on the other side of the room,
right.
Right.
Let's alleviate any stress or concern or anything like that, It was my choice to do that, And so when he had woken me up and was thinking that I was on my phone, first of all, and I was like, there's no way I could have been on my phone, because first of all, I was sleeping. Second, my phone's way over there, and then he was like, you must have a burner phone. And so then he was kind of checking on my side of the bed and just kind of like, it was just really acting strange. And I was like, what in the world is going on? Like, I'm like, I was just so like kind of like in shock, just because I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. I was clueless about, like, I'm like, why would you be looking for a burner phone? Like, it just didn't make sense to me.
Right.
Right. Well, in the first couple of weeks, like, as that was happening, again, that was like a bad day.
Right.
And then I felt like you guys would talk and it'd be good for a couple of days. And then it would be like another video or another something's going on where, I'm convinced I'm back again. It was very like manic. It was kind of up and down.
So what I didn't know then that we all know now, I was hallucinating.
And obviously I didn't know that either.
And I didn't know. At the time, I didn't know. But I saw and heard a phone, right? Like, and then I
dropped,
picked up.
Okay.
So a phone picked up, right? Like, this is what I'm hearing. Phone picked up, and then I see a flash of light, like you're looking at your phone, right? And then put the phone down. So I'm seeing it, like we're having this fucking podcast right now. That's what happened.
It's this real.
It's this real. Like, this is happening.
And I'm sleeping.
And she's sleeping. Yeah. So yeah. So like now I can now looking back, I can laugh about it. But in that moment, I didn't know I was hallucinating, and I didn't know that my meds made me hallucinate.
Right.
So that's where we're going with this and this medication change and shit. One of the side effects is hallucinations. Manic episodes, video and auditorial hallucinations.
So you're hearing and seeing.
I'm hearing and seeing it.
Right.
So for me, it's real. I just fucking saw you. And she's like, what are you talking about? My phone's over there. So then I was like, I know I saw you on a phone. You must have a burner phone.
Right.
So then this whole story, this whole idea of a burner phone, because I saw it. I'm laying right here looking at you. I see it.
Right.
No, I was hallucinating. So, and both, right? I'm getting both. I'm hearing it. I'm seeing it. To me, it's real.
Right.
And same thing. Like, I don't know that my meds are making me do this. I'm not doing fucking mushrooms or any kind of thing that should make me hallucinate.
Right.
So to me, I'm like, that's the only thing that makes sense. Why else would I see it? I saw it. I heard it. I'm fucking right here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in this manic state of like I know I'm watching you do it.
Well, and you are trying to catch her actively.
Right.
Do we want to talk about the video with the shower?
Yeah.
Because I think it was before you left,
Yeah,
and we'll get to that.
Mm.
But there was also a night where you were gone. I don't think you had left yet, but you were doing something. And Jack and I went over there.
Mhm.
I think your brother was there,
Yeah.
one of your brothers. And we went over there and we were talking, and this one's wild.
This one's this one's out there.
Wild. But again, Jerett, dude, you should sell anything.
Yeah. Let's start a cult.
You can start. I'm serious. dude.
Again, we were kind of the story goes, and correct me if I'm wrong, that they were having a good day. Things were turning the corner a little bit. JJ and Jerett were in their spa. And JJ had said to Jerett, like, hey, can you go take the dog out real quick? Can you take the trash cans around? Blah, blah, blah. And maybe I'll meet you upstairs and we'll have some time, if you will. And JJ said, I'm going to run up and take a shower. So Jarett's still convinced at this point that she's possibly cheating. So he goes up to the bedroom first and leaves his phone recording, but like upside down, right?
Yeah, so it's a shot of the ceiling.
Yes.
Right.
So she couldn't see it.
So the reasoning behind that, I thought that maybe she was calling somebody, right? That was
Got
my
it.
thought process.
Okay.
I want to hear what she's
I
saying.
want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like because I needed proof for me, right? Because I'm seeing all of these things and I'm hearing all of these things, but I don't have any proof, right? And I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Right.
So
And you're convinced. And
yeah.
I said that to you, like, before you blow up your entire family, like, you should really make sure you like know, because
Right.
once you go that far, you can't come back.
Right.
And so he there's a video, and he took it and then shared it with us. It's a completely appropriate video for anyone. We
It's
didn't
just a
watch JJ's
Yeah, it's
shower.
the ceiling. Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm not setting those around.
Thank you. We didn't watch JJ's shower, but he had us listen to it. And in Jarett's mind at the time, he believed that in the, 20 minutes you were doing chores,
I don't even think it was that long.
it was
to be
not
honest.
long.
He said it was like 20 minutes. He said I had been out of the house for 20 minutes. I took the trash out.
And I
took the
think you
dog
were
for a walk.
waiting, because if you thought she was calling somebody, you wanted her to.
I wanted to get it.
Well,
Yeah.
this is what,
Yeah.
the video wasn't 20 minutes, but this is what he told us, that he
Yeah.
was gone for. You had 20 minutes in the house.
Yeah, he didn't take the dog for a walk though.
Right.
I know that.
I did not.
So at this point,
I did say I would though.
he's convinced that while he was doing the chores downstairs, JJ was in the shower. He was absolutely convinced that while he was outside, somebody came in,
Yeah.
went upstairs, got in the shower with JJ, and then snuck out real quick before Jerett got up there. And if you hear the video, again, he was convinced that you could hear stuff. I just heard JJ shower. It was, it was just water.
So anybody now, go record an audio recording of you taking a shower. It'll sound just like that.
Well,
Like
yeah,
whatever
but
your mind is
also-
telling you.
Yeah.
I go back to, if you're looking for something, you're going to find something.
Right.
So I will say that there's like, if you listen hard enough at exactly 23 seconds, it sounds like, somebody said, and it's like,
It sounded like there was a man's voice. Jerett was convinced you could hear a man's voice. And then he was convinced, you can hear JJ moaning. And I
we
jokingly,
listened to it 100 times.
but I jokingly was like,
Yeah. Thank you.
I was like, okay, maybe she was
Yeah. And then you start
having
to,
a minute to herself in the shower. I don't know. Like, again, I'm not here to
Yeah.
fucking, but you were so convinced about it. You were playing it at full volume in a cup.
Yeah.
You put it on Bluetooth speakers.
Yeah.
You're like, listen, and you were it's right. I mean, you had it, Kendra's nails it, like 23 seconds in like milliseconds. You had it like down. Listen.
And we would, I was like, I don't hear
See,
it.
but I was hearing shit, and that's the problem. And I would be like, I don't understand why you guys can't hear this.
And I could see it in your like soul. Like you were like,
you were
no, like listen. And the only thing I could think of was like, JJ is one of the smartest people I know. If you think she snuck a man into your house while you're there, you could kill somebody with your bare hands. You are a big man.
Well, but besides that, I think you guys,
Like,
you
she's
had
not that
Kevin,
dumb.
you had Karma still. No? You had Casey and Kevin, just Casey and Kevin. But regardless, you're not bringing a stranger in the house without Kevin, and you clearly weren't taking Kevin for a walk.
No.
So you're not bringing a stranger in with that. And we're thinking the time frame, too. And I'm thinking the same thing, Kendra's. I'm like,
JJ is not dumb. Like, she's not going to
Dude,
parade
is the
some man
guy-
in this house while Jerett is on property. Like,
Have cameras.
yes,
Yeah.
everywhere.
and this is the other part that we were trying to convince Jerett. We're like, bro, first of all, where was this guy?
Yeah.
Because he's on a NASCAR pit crew. If he could get in and,
he's in
get in and knock one
Yeah.
out that quick, was he in the shower?
Right.
Like in the closet? And we're sitting there trying to like logistically, my mind goes to logistics, and I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, no way. And Hunter was home too. I'm like, there is no fucking way. I know when you come upstairs where your camera was on the den, because that you're watching Hunter up there, that sees, there's one hallway back to your bedroom.
Right.
You would have seen this person on the camera right then and there, and did proof done, gone.
Well, that kind of will end up coming back up at the next episode. Is Jerett then was convinced she was deleting video footage from around the house.
Yeah.
And again, like you put the video of like maybe there was boobs on that video, and then you put the shower video, and then you start to think like, dude, are we like missing something? Like, and then all I could think is she's just not dumb. Like if she's gonna cheat on you, she's
Right.
not gonna do it while you're putting the trash cans away. I
Right.
mean, who's like
But the whole time too, we're really only getting, I'm only getting anything from Jerett.
Yes.
and I'm
JJ
checking in with
wasn't-
JJ,
yeah,
but JJ was.
But I don't.
You weren't really saying.
What's so funny about you is that you are a ride or die. So even when Jerett was going through all of this, you were always like hopeful and like, you know, we're having a good day, or we're figuring out his meds, or we're, you know, and there was a point later on where you're like, I'm really sick of having to like justify everything I
Yeah.
do, everything I say. But for the most part, you were very like, it's okay. Like, we're going to get through it. Because I think it's because you felt not guilty. You had a clear
Well, you were
mind.
convinced-
You could have just fucking
Yeah.
peace out and
Convinced, like,
fucking out.
This isn't me. One thing you kept saying though, Jerett, is you're like, whoever's providing the information narrates the story. And I kept going, you're the only one providing.
Yeah.
Like JJ, and I kept thinking that. I was talking to Kendra. I'm like, what are you getting? Because this is what I'm getting from Jerett. So what's JJ's side? And you were like, she's really not giving up a lot. And so
I just was saying I'm not doing any.
Well,
of
I
it.
think
Like,
too, when you're guilty, like let's say you were doing what he was suggesting, when you're guilty, I think people panic and they start coming up with stories and they start.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, it's a shitty place to be when you're not guilty, because how do you prove that I didn't do it?
Like
but you're calm probably because like I don't have anything to hide. Like
Right.
search. You're not going to find anything.
I didn't feel I had to defend myself,
Right.
Because
Right.
I didn't do anything. So
Right.
I was like, I just didn't do it. Like,
Right.
it's,
Well, and that like frustrated me more, right? Because I'm like, just tell me, we can
Right.
work on this. We can fix it.
You're looking for
Like, lie to me and tell me something, you
I
know?
think there was a point. I think I might have told you this. I kind of like I was like, I wish I would have done something so I can give him information.
Right,
because
right.
He wasn't
Yeah.
believing me saying no, I didn't do anything. You know,
Right.
so
Right.
because I was like, I don't know.
I
what
didn't
to
do
say.
it.
Yeah.
So,
But like, that's why I say, like, when I feel bad, like, I put her through this, you know?
Mhm.
And it's not like I put her through it, you know?
Right.
But it's like, I was in a manic state on these meds, and that was my behavior. And this is my wife. This is the mother of my child. Like,
Right.
and I'm over here like, you got somebody that like, they're looking back now, like,
Again, we can
fuck,
laugh
man.
now,
Like,
but
yeah. But in the moment, it was the most devastating thing for me.
Well,
this-
your family was falling apart. That's
Right.
how you saw it.
Yeah.
But this is keying on too, like the power of your mind and the power of medication. Because
Oh,
now that
yeah.
you can sit there and we can rationally talk about this, we can all go, that was wild.
Yes.
Right.
Like, and so easily dismissed. But it was so strong to you in that point.
Oh, no.
I remember
everything was
Chicken and I
real.
was like, there's just, you were so convincing that we were convinced for
Right.
a while. And then we're like, okay, well, I wonder what's going to happen. And
Mm-hmm.
Kendra's like, well, I'm going to have to teach Jerett how to be an adult.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to
pay my
help him.
bills.
See, that's
She's
what
like-
I said. Like, I'm
she's
going
like,
to have to pay his bills.
Yeah, I'll put something together on QuickBooks. We'll get something on. And then so we're thinking, we're like, okay, you know, Hunter's go. We'll help them figure out Hunter. And they're going to have to sell the house. And like, we're planning
Yeah.
for what's going to happen after
Right.
that. And then we're like, ooh, what's going to happen if like JJ wants to have dinner or Jerett wants to have
Yeah.
dinner. So, dude, I mean, we're right
Who
there.
do we get in the divorce? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we are right there with you guys, as convinced as you were,
Right.
almost.
Well, and at some point, it kind of changed daily of who it was that you thought she was
Right.
cheating.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm trying to rationalize it to myself.
Right.
And then I'm like, well, who's in town? Who's around? And who
Yeah.
who could be here?
Right.
And who could be here at this time, right? Like, like there was a point in time where I thought like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning she was having somebody come over.
Right.
I'm like, okay, well, who's at work? Who's at home?
Right.
Okay, everybody, these people are out.
Well, you kept running through people that we knew.
Right.
And you, a very convincing point is you were like, it's got to be somebody I know.
Mhm.
Because if I come into the house and that person is there, it's easily explained away.
Right.
It can be any one of the neighbors. Oh, I had to come get something. JJ wanted me to drop this off.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And it got to the point where I was laughing with Kendra. I'm like, when's it going to be my turn?
Yeah.
Like, I'm waiting. He's getting closer and closer to me. Soon it's going to be me. And I'm going to have to try to convince my buddy, like, no, bro, I'm
Yeah.
not.
I did tell him, I'm like, just make sure you talk to her on camera if you go over there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
don't-
She's like, you and JJ are never alone. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't worried.
Yeah.
No.
I'm glad we can laugh about it now.
Oh, we were not laughing in the moment. None of us were. It was it was devastating to watch from the outside looking in. It was very, it was a frustrating situation because it's like, Jack and I are both fixers. Like, that's one of those things where we just want to like come give you some beautiful piece of advice and you go, oh, okay, yeah, got
that
it.
tracks.
You know, and
Yeah.
there was none of that. There was none of that. There was nothing we could do from the outside looking in other than just be there for you guys, like help with Hunter if it was needed, whatever. But it's a very like helpless situation from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
So leading up to, JJ left eventually.
Yes.
So what did that look like?
So I think we'll get into it in the next episode, but leading up to that, that was actually the night that he woke me up with my eye mask on, you know. And
Searching for a burner.
yeah, we were kind of like he had gone through stuff in our room. Like it was kind of just it was a good little bit of us kind of going back and forth of like he was just so determined, you know, that this was that like that I had a burner, and then he kept playing the shower video for me and stuff like that, and I was like, it got to the point where I was like, I can't help him. Like we're
Yeah.
just doing the same thing
Right.
over and over and over again. And then it was about time for Hunter to wake up, and I was like, Hunter cannot see Jerett in this situation. Like
Right.
see
I was
him
very manic.
in this,
Yeah.
he was definitely manic at that time. That was and I was like, Hunter just can't see his dad like this. This is not like I wasn't afraid of Jerett. He wasn't being aggressive. Like we were like, you know, like we were arguing or like, you know, having what
Let's call it a heated
yeah,
conversation. Yeah, sure.
You know, and he's like, no, listen, you know, and stuff like that. But it wasn't like I was like, I'm so scared I have to leave. You know, he was never like that. It was just, I was like, I can't help him. Maybe if I leave the situation, then maybe maybe other people can help him.
Right.
Like I recognize that maybe I'm just not the one to like get him to like, you know, think straight.
Mhm.
And I think that's the right move.
Yeah.
For Hunter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for your own mental health,
Yeah.
right? Like you get to a
Yeah.
point where your own mental health is suffering because
Yes.
you're like, what
Oh,
the
yeah.
hell do I do? Like
Yeah.
he's not being convinced.
Yeah.
And Hunter is 10 going on 40. So
Yeah.
he's not going to skip a beat, you know.
Yeah.
He's going to know
Yeah.
exactly like what's going on or at least feel the energy. I mean, kids aren't
Oh,
dumb,
yeah, of
right? They
course.
know what's going on.
Yeah, and I didn't want him to see
No.
or hear anything or I mean, so I actually had called Jackie, who lived in the neighborhood, and I was like, can you just come pick me up? Just because, I could have taken the car very easily, but I was just like, I feel like it would just easier just to like get someone to like come get me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then also, Hunter, like she was helping grab Hunter's stuff and stuff like that. So, she came and picked Hunter and I up, and we left. And then I left Jerett there he wasn't by himself. We did have someone end up showing up like right basically when I was leaving. So, but yeah, that's kind of where I ended in that situation.
Yeah. That may be a good place to wrap this one up
Yeah.
and pick up. Because if you think this episode was wild, you don't know what's coming.
It's just the tip.
This is just to introduce you guys to what the beginning was. I mean, this isn't the end. This is how it fucking started.
Yeah.
It's a big hill, and we went all the way down it.
That's okay. We're coming up well for the most part. There's still some things to sort out, but
yeah. So thank you guys for coming out and listening to this episode. It's a new series that we're doing where we are very vulnerable, and by we I mean me, because I was having a lot of things that I needed help with, and I didn't realize. Right, so it's my friends who know me saw in me the change, and I am very convincing. Right, I can make you see things my way if I.
Oh, JJ was having 5 affairs, and I was here for it. I was like, I think it might be happening.
Yeah,
chick's running through.
Right, like good for her.
Slay queen.
She's got a lot going on.
But this is going to be a multi-episode series, so please come back and listen to us on the next one. And if you are out there and you need help, reach out. It is very important. Your mental health is very important. Sometimes you get prescribed bad medication.
Yeah.
It is a real fucking thing. It's one of the leading causes of death in America. Big Pharma causes a lot of deaths every year. So just because somebody tells you that this medication is good for you doesn't mean that it necessarily will be.
Agreed.
And I will say, read the warnings and what are they called? Warning label.
Side
effects. The side effects, because at some point we're going to get into what the side effects were of this medication that I was on, and all of this is going to start to then you're going to be like, holy shit, they actually prescribe that to people? Yes, it's FDA approved.
And you didn't notoriously have side effects from other medications. So why would you? Again, I go back to, we lived it with you, and I go back to, it never occurred to me. If anything, I thought he doubled up, that'll help him. But it takes 30, 60 days to kick in. Right. Give it some time. I thought the absolute opposite,
Well, and part of it, too, is that if you are, we talk about being open and honest, and somebody can't help you if they don't know everything. Right. So if you are on a medication and a doctor wants to prescribe you another one, you should probably say, hey, I am currently taking this amount of this and have been taking it for this long. Is there an interaction between the two?
Right.
Because you'll hear a lot like new medications come out. Don't take this medication if you're on these other ones. So, and you would assume that your doctor knows all this, but if you've gone to 2 different doctors, they have to request that information. So if you're not forward with it, they didn't know necessarily like, oh, you're taking this much in for this long. They should know, okay, we're doubling up.
Right. And if you are changing your medication, I have learned that there is a process where you come off of one to get onto another.
Yeah, like wean off of one.
Yeah. And I wasn't told that. Sure. So I don't know if we'll get into it in any other episodes, but
we should, because that's a very important thing too.
Yeah.
That's kind of how this whole thing came about, really. I mean, just...
So my therapist thought that I was having serotonin syndrome, which is an overload of serotonin from SSRIs. And so we'll get into it later, but stay tuned for the next ones. And if this is the second episode you listen to, thanks for coming back. There will be more. And if this is the first one you listen to, go back and listen to number 1.
Yeah, it'll help.
Yeah.
Like we said, when this is a Tarantino film, you're going to have to take notes.
You're going to, yeah. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, write us, reach out to us. If you've dealt with something like this, we'd love to hear your perspective on it.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very different series than what we usually do.
Yes, sir.
So, with that being said, I've been Jerett.
I've been JJ.
I've been Kendra.
And I've been Jack.
And this is Shattered Wisdom Podcast. Thanks for coming by.